ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्स्य ज्ञानाञ्जनच्छलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती राधानाथ स्वामी नाम श्रीपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष चालम पंगुम खेती गिरिम यत्कृपात मोहम्मद देश गुरुम दीन तारिणम परमानंद माधव श्री चैतन्य ओम। Hare Krishna. So we are continuing our discussion on the 8th canto of the Srimad Bhagavat. We'll be discussing chapter 5 today. The 8th canto, as we have mentioned earlier, is specifically focused on the topic of Manvantaras. And within the Manvantaras, more specifically on the various Manvantara incarnations across the various Manvantaras. In the previous few chapters, we discussed about the 4th Manvantara, the Tamasa Manvantara. And within the Tamasa Manvantara, we discussed about the Lord Hari, who appeared to save Gajendra. And when the mention of Gajendra and Lord Hari came about, Sukadeva Goswami became very keen to know more. Please tell me about this Gajendra pastime, how this Gajendra was liberated by Lord Hari. And then we had a discussion in the last 3 chapters about Gajendra's pastime. Very, very interesting, very insightful pastime, which gives us a lot of beautiful insights into what one should be careful in terms of protecting ourselves in this material world, and also in terms of what is it that finally comes to our rescue in the material world. So we discussed the Gajendra pastime. Now the discussions in this particular chapter, and that was the Tamasa Manvantara, which is the 4th Manvantara. Currently we are in which Manvantara? Anyone remembers? Out of the 14 Manvantaras which are there in the day of Brahma, which sequence?
Seventh, right?
7th. Yes, correct. We are in the 7th Manvantara, which is known as the Vaivasvata Manvantara. So the first Manvantara is Swayambhuva Manvantara. Then there is the Swarochisha, and so on and so forth. So the 4th is Tamasa, and after the Tamasa Manvantara, we have the Raivata Manvantara. So Manvantaras are often named after the Manvantara, the Manu of that particular Manvantara, not the Manvantara avatar, but the Manu of that particular Manvantara. The Manu, in very simple words, is almost you can kind of say he's one of the main administrators of the universal affairs in the Manvantara. And in the administration, he's assisted by, we discussed, right, various categories of individuals. His own sons, the Devatas, the Saptarishis, and various other kinds of personalities. Manu, Manuputraha, Devata, Saptarishaya, and the Manvantara avatar, and so on. So the fifth Manvantara was presided over by the brother of Tamasa, whose name was Raivata. And that is why this particular Manvantara is known as the Raivata Manvantara. So as the various Manvantaras are being described, Shukadev Goswami is explaining to Bali Maharaj who were the prominent personalities within that Manvantara. So he goes on to say that in the Raivata Manvantara, the fifth Manvantara, the Indra was known as Vibhu, and the Devatas were various other personalities that are mentioned. I'll not go to all those details. But in the Raivata Manvantara, the Manvantara avatar was a personality by the name of Vaikuntha, an incarnation of the Lord, an Amsha incarnation of the Lord. This personality, Vaikuntha, was the son of Shubhra, Shubhra, the husband, and his wife Vikuntha. From the combination of Vikuntha and Shubhra, the Supreme Lord took an incarnation by the name of Vaikuntha. So Vaikuntha is also one of the names of the Lord, because one of the forms of the Lord, one of these Manvantara incarnations of the Lord, has the name of Vaikuntha. The Lord appeared in that particular incarnations, and also in that particular Manvantara, his personal expansions occupied the position of various devatas. Patni Vikuntha Shubhrasya Vaikunthe Surasattamaihi Tayoho Swakalaya Yadne Vaikuntho Bhagavan Swayam. He was the Lord himself. He was not a Shaktiavesh. He was the Lord himself, and he came with Swakalaya Jajne. Swakalaya means he came with his own expansions who occupied the various positions of the devatas. So this is also mentioned. Sometimes whenever the Lord, the Supreme Lord, doesn't find qualified jivas to occupy the positions of the devatas, the Lord himself expands and becomes that particular devata. So Lord Vishnu, and later on in this chapter it is described, the various devatas are compared to the various parts of his universal body. They emerge from various parts of his Vishwarupa. And every devata, for a jiva to occupy that position, needs a specific qualification. It's not simply by voting. It's not that you can, buy a marketing company, get more votes, promote yourself in a particular way, and then, sell a particular narrative, get more votes, and, cheat and become voted into power. No. The qualifications are predetermined, and jivas based on specific qualifications are given that position. And whenever there is not a qualified person to occupy that particular post, especially the position of these administrators of the universe, including the devatas, the Supreme Lord himself expands. So in this particular incarnation, in this particular Manvantara, Lord Vaikuntha, the son of Vikuntha and Shubhra, He became the Manvantara avatar and his expansions became the various devatas. And something very interesting happened in this first Manvantara, which is the Raivata Manvantara. That is that the wife of this Vaikuntha incarnation, obviously when the Lord takes birth, his consort also appears as his wife. He doesn't accept an ordinary person as his wife. This Lakshmi Devi also appears. So when the Lord married Lakshmi Devi in this particular incarnation, her name was Rama Devi. Vaikuntha's wife is Rama. Vaikuntha kalpito yena loko loka namaskritah Ramaya prarthayamanena devya tat priyakamyaya. Lakshmi Devi requested Lord Vaikuntha, Lord, you are Vaikuntha Pati. I know you have incarnated in this world. But why not we manifest Vaikuntha here also? Why we are living in this Maya Jagat for ourselves? Let us. So it is said, Vaikuntha kalpitaha yena. To please his wife Rama Devi, Lord Vaikuntha manifested a Vaikuntha planet within this universe. And both of them went and stayed there. Interesting. That planet is still there. There is one Vaikuntha planet within this universe where Lord Vaikuntha and his wife Rama Devi are residing. Even today. Where is that planet located? It is not within the 14 planetary systems. It is separate. It is said in the material universe, in the Brahma Anda, we discussed this when we discussed the 5th canto. The Bhumandal, there is the Loka region, then there is the Swarna Bhumi, then there is the Loka mountain, very, very high. It separates the Loka Bhumi from the Aloka Bhumi. If you don't remember all this, it's okay. It essentially separates the inhabited land from the uninhabited land of the universe on the Bhumandal platform. It's a very, 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 very high separation, Loka mountains. It is said above the Loka mountain, this Vaikuntha planet is residing. Practically where there is no sunlight. Na tadbhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavaka. No need of the light of the sun or the moon. Loka is above the Loka. The sun's rays doesn't go beyond the Loka mountain, neither outside nor up. The Vaikuntha planet is self-illuminated there eternally. The Acharyas make an interesting commentary regarding this and they say that actually, is Vaikuntha actually created? No, Vaikuntha is never created. Vaikuntha is eternal. The Srimad Bhagavatam is eternal. But the Lord manifests his dham in this world when he appears. Because the Lord doesn't stay in a material place. So it appears as if it's created, but it is just manifested to the vision. So there is a Vaikuntha planet inside our Brahma Anda. Right? So what typically we say is, there are many Brahma Andas which are floating within the causal ocean. Then there is the Viraja which separates the material world and the spiritual world. And beyond the Viraj is the Brahma Jyoti, and beyond the Brahma Jyoti is the Vaikuntha, and where Vaikuntha planets are located. But within our universe there is a Vaikuntha planet also, which is spiritual. And this planet is in addition to the Dhruva Loka, which is also of the character of the spiritual world, where Kshirodakashayi Vishnu is residing on the ocean of milk. Right? Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, who is the collective Paramatma, and from whom all the various other incarnations appear. He is already there, but additionally, he is there since the beginning of creation. Additionally, in this particular Manvantara, in the 5th Manvantara of Raivata, the brother of Tamasa, the Lord appears as Vaikuntha, as the son of Shubhra and Vikuntha, and takes the name of Vaikuntha, marries his eternal consort Rama Devi, and they establish and manifest this Vaikuntha planet, and they are residing there. Veera Raghav Acharya, a very famous Acharya in the Madhva line, who especially gives a lot of commentary on the universal structure. He has made a comment, even though the Bhagavatam doesn't mention, he gives the location of this planet, spiritual planet. He says that this Vaikunta is within the material realm, it is situated above the Lokalok mountain. And the Bhagavatam says this planet is worshipable for all. Just like Dhruvalok is worshipable for all because Shirodakshay Vishnu is residing, similarly, this planet is also worshipable for all. So this is also a very interesting piece of information. Sometimes we may wonder, just like we said, Lord Hari who came to save Gajendra, is neither Shirodakshay Vishnu directly nor is he Vaikuntha. He was from the previous fourth Tamasa Manvantara. He was the Manvantara avatar who appeared in his four-armed form. So like that, there are many, many, many incarnations of the Lord. In one day of Brahma itself, how long is one day of Brahma? 4.32 billion years. 14 Manvantaras. And in each Manvantara, so many, not only Manvantara avatars, in every Yuga, 1000 Yuga cycles, Satya Treta Dwapar Kali, Satya Treta Dwapar Kali. 1000 times. Can you imagine? So many. We had counted the incarnations roughly how many in a lifetime of Brahma, 500,000 Manvantara avatars themselves. That's why the Shastras say that the incarnations of the Lord are endless. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharatat abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sajjamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinachaya ch dushkritam dharma samsthapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compares the incarnations of the Lord just like just like waves are coming from an ocean, one after another, one after another, for various purposes, either to annihilate the demons, protect the devotees, or for the re-establishment of religious principles. So Vaikuntha is one such incarnation, who is both a Manvantara incarnation and also he established his divine abode as Vaikuntha in this planet. So do remember this, within this universe also there is a Vaikuntha. And it was created in this day of Brahma by Lord Vaikuntha. Okay, so since this was created in the 5th Manvantara and we are in the 7th Manvantara, it should still be around because it's an eternal planet. And being eternal, it is only manifest, unmanifest, manifest, manifest. Because Vaikuntha is never created in the ordinary sense. The Bhagavad Gita, the Lord very beautifully says, Parastasmat tu bhavo anyo vyakta vyaktat sanatanaha yahacha sarveshu bhaveshu natsatsu na vinashyati. That beyond the created and uncreated manifestations, Parastasmat tu bhavo anyo, there is another nature. Anyo bhavo. Bhava means existence. Bhava means existence. Bhava means to be. Bhava means existence. Parastasmat tu bhavo anyo vyakta vyaktat sanatana, eternal, never created, never destroyed. Yacha sarveshu bhaveshu natshatsu na vinashyati. Even though the material manifestation may be totally annihilated, that existence is never destroyed. न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यद् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धामं परमम्. There neither the rays of the sun nor the moon reach, nor is there electricity or fire or any other artificial material mechanism of lighting. It is self-luminous. Tadhamam paramam. That Shashvat eternal abode, which is never destroyed, never created, is my supreme abode. And that supreme abode is referred to as Vaikuntha. This name Vaikuntha is also very interesting. It comes from the word Vai plus Kuntha. Kuntha in Sanskrit means anxiety. Kuntha. I am troubled by some Kuntha. Means my life is full of problems. Which is the story of everybody within this material world. Having problems, having anxiety is the story of everybody within this world. That is why this world is known as Kuntha. And Vaikuntha means where there is Kuntha, no Kuntha. Vaikuntha, where there is any Kuntha, which means this is the place of no misery. That is why living entities are encouraged to attain perfection of going beyond the Trigunas and attain the platform of Vishuddha Sattva, where there is no Kuntha, no anxiety. All living entities, all jivas in this world, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jathare Shainam, are again and again trying to find a place of Vikuntha, trying to achieve a state, a place, a state where one will be finally free from all misery for all time to come. But no such place, destination, or state of consciousness exists within this world. Krishna has certified this world as Dukkha Alayam Ashashvatam, stamped. Dukkha Alaya, exactly opposite of Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means no Dukkha. Where there is, where you find, go and search also, you will not find any Dukkha. In material world, you don't have to find. Dukkhalayam. Just like Himalaya means everywhere there is snow. Himalaya. Everywhere there is snow, there is a Himalaya. Pustakalaya, library. Everywhere there are books. There is a Pustakalaya. The same way, Dukkhalaya. Everywhere there is suffering. So, in this material, in this particular universe within the material world, other than Shweta Dvipa, which is Dhruvalok, which is also, like Suraj Prabhu was asking, yeah, it is also a Vaikuntha planet because it is also transcendental. It is also an embassy of the spiritual world within the material world. It is also, that is why wherever the Lord resides, it is considered the spiritual world. That's why even the holy dhams, Vrindavan, Ayodhya, Mathura, Mayapur, they are also considered spiritual. They are also spiritual realms, but they are just covered by the Yogamaya potency so that ordinary jivas can interact with them. Otherwise, how will we interact? We are not at the spiritual platform. So yes, apart from Dhruvaloka, there is this particular Vaikuntha. And maybe some living entities who have some particular level of devotion may and who are not yet qualified to go to the Vaikuntha in the spiritual world may get association of the Lord, either in Dhruvaloka or even in this Vaikuntha. Possible. Or sometimes direct association of the Lord in his other incarnations, when the Lord is in one of his dhams, or in the heavenly planets when the Lord is coming in an Amsha avatar, like Lord Hari, and so on and so forth. At this point, Shukadev Goswami, when he glorifies Lord Vaikuntha, he says that the Lord and his glories and his qualities are so ananta. Tulsi Ramayana said, right? Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. Lord is unlimited, his qualities are unlimited, his activities and pastimes, his leela are unlimited. Shukadev is telling Parikshit Maharaj, it is impossible to describe. It is impossible for us even to understand them. So please do not think just because you cannot fathom, don't think it is not true. Nothing is impossible for Lord Vishnu. Then he gives a very interesting example. Shukadev Goswami tells Parikshit, even if you can count each and every atom within the universe, you cannot count all the qualities of Lord Hari. Impossible. Even if you are able to count the atoms, you cannot count. Even if you are able to count, you still cannot count the Lord's unlimited qualities. And then in the commentaries, the acharyas give a very wonderful example of the Lord's unlimited qualities. And Prabhupada mentions this, a very interesting thing about Lord Varaha. Lord Varaha appeared originally in the Swayambhuva Manvantara, right? We've discussed this past time in the previous cantos. Jay and Vijay, who were cursed by the Chatush Kumar, they were cursed to have 3 lives as demons. First as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, and then Dantavakra and Shishupal. So the Varaha incarnation happened when Lord killed Hiranyaksha. That was in the Swayambhuva Manvantara. In the Swayambhuva Manvantara, Varahadev fought Hiranyaksha. They said Varahadev came out, lifted Prithvi on his tusks, Varaha. He came out. Hiranyaksha was chasing and attacking Varahadev. Varahadev first neglected him. He brought Prithvi, put her in the orbit, and then he turned his attention to Hiranyaksha, fought him and killed him. But it is also described in the Bhagavad that again in the Raivata Manvantara, which is the Manvantara we are discussing, there was again another appearance of Varaha. So how come? This is the example the Acharyas is giving with respect to this one. So did the Lord appear actually in the Swayambhuva Manvantara, Varaha, or did he appear in the Raivata Manvantara? Both are millions of years apart. Correct? One Manvantara is 1000 Chatur Yugas. So it's a very, very distant period between them. So Srila Prabhupada explains that according to some authorities, there were 2 appearances of Varaha at 2 different times. One Shveta Varaha and one Rakta Varaha. White colored Varaha and one red colored Varaha. 2 different. Shveta Varaha. This particular Kalpa, this particular day of Brahma is known as Shveta Varaha Kalpa. Have you heard this? Whenever we do puja, we start with Shveta Varaha Kalpe. Each Kalpa, each day of Brahma has a name. The name, every day has a name. Even in our world, our current English, Gregorian calendar, it's only same Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Repeat. Month also repeat. Every day of Brahma has a name. Every Manvantara has a name within every day of Brahma. That's why we say in the puja, I am currently doing this puja, O Lord, in the Shveta Varaha Kalpa, Vaivasvata Manvantara, in the 28th Divya Yuga, in the Kali Yuga, in the Prathamacharan of Kali Yuga. And if you are from South India, you say Godavari Dakshinyam. South of Godavari, I am situated here. I am here. In case you are wondering, my geolocation in the universe. This time, this place, I am doing this puja for you, O Lord, please accept. So that is a Sankalpa Paddhati. So anyway, I am just reminding you where we are using these words in our regular pujas, the various Hindu rituals. So Shveta Varaha Kalpa. Why Shveta Varaha? Because at the beginning of the Kalpa, the Lord appeared as white colored Varaha. This particular Kalpa is the first day of the 51st year of Lord Brahma. Shveta Varaha Kalpa. Our Lord Brahma just turned 50. I also just turned 50, but my lifespan is so small. His 50th year is for billions of years. Our years. Anyway, so Shveta Varaha Kalpa, he appeared. Then who is this Varaha who appeared in the Raivata Manvantara? So some say twice he appeared. The Lord appeared for two slightly different pastimes. We'll not go into those pastimes, otherwise we will go into a different tangent in this class. But the Lord appeared twice, first to kill Hiranyaksha and then he performed another pastime in the Raivata Manvantara. It's very briefly mentioned in the Bhagavatam. It's mentioned in the third or fourth canto. Rakta Varaha, red colored Varaha. So the Acharyas mention, this is just to give an idea of the kind of potencies of the Lord which are absolutely unfathomable. Some say there are two Varahas, two distinct incarnations. However, according to some, the same Varaha who appeared in the Swayambhuva Manvantara after he killed Hiranyaksha, job done, earth placed in orbit, killed Hiranyaksha, then he is bored, right? He went back into the Garbhoda cushion. He was playing around in the Garbhoda cushion. Water, nice, enjoying himself, the Garbhoda cushion. There is Kurma holding the, on top of which is Ananta, on top of whose head is the Brahmanda, and also roaming around is the Varaha. And then when the Raivata Manvantara came, the same Varaha for another pastime again came out. Maybe he changed color this time, different dress. So some acharyas explain like this. Prabhupada says, we may think how all this is possible, billions and billions. What is difficult for the Supreme Lord? That is the point that the acharyas are trying to make. Some may doubt how this is possible. Nothing is impossible. Parasya Shaktir Vivdhaiva Shruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. The Lord has inconceivable potency. We cannot imagine. For us, our entire lifespan is like a microsecond in the lifetime of Brahma, whose entire life is just one breath of Mahavishnu. So when we hear all this, just because it doesn't fit into our brain, we should not say that this is impossible. Correct? Just like a frog, when it compares to a human being, a frog cannot understand what humans can understand. It is impossible. If you even try to make him understand even 0.001%, his brain will burst. Cannot fathom. He says, oh, all these things are impossible. Here it is possible. And for us, Brahma's intelligence is inconceivable. And for Lord Brahma, Hari and his potencies is inconceivable. Who can understand? So, we can only taste one drop of the ocean. The acharyas are very clear. We cannot fully fathom the inconceivable potencies of the Supreme Personality of God. So, all these pastimes that we discuss, including the Raktavara appearance, happened in Raivata Manvantara. Okay, so to summarize quickly, in Raivata Manvantara, the Lord appeared as, in the Manvantara avatar, as Vaikuntha. Married Rama Devi, set up a Vaikuntha planet which is still there. So you have one more option, local option, to go to Vaikuntha. In case you don't have enough to go all the way across Viraj, you may be given special concession. So sometime you come here, then you purify yourself, then you go. So one more option there. So that is the pastime, and Lord Varaha also appeared again, the Raivata Manvantara. So these two pastimes are mentioned. Then the next Manvantara, which is the sixth Manvantara. Raivata Manvantara is the fifth. Tamasa was the fourth. The sixth Manvantara, which is the Manvantara just before ours, which is Vaivasvat Manvantara. The son of Chakshusha, whose name is Chakshusha, he became the sixth Manu. In the sixth Manvantara, the Chakshusha Manvantara, Indra, the position of Indra was given to a person by the name of Mantra Dhruma. So every time a new Manvantara starts, then there is a selection of, who is... Actually, it's not even a selection when the Manvantara begins. There is a long list of waiting qualified people. Because there is already a prefix term. So the next qualified person is Mantra Drumna. He said, oh, he has performed 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. Okay. Seventh Manvantara, Vaivasvat has occupied already. Eighth Manvantara, somebody else will occupy. So all that list is already there. In fact, the Puranas already mention who are going to be the Indras in the subsequent Manvantaras, already pre-filled. So if any of you are very excited about becoming Indra, I am telling you upfront, there is a long list of already qualified people. Maybe this day of Brahma will be very difficult. Better you go to Vaikuntha, easier. Easier in the sense, not easier, but simpler. Just by being a Ananya Bhakta of Lord Hari, one can attend Vaikuntha. No need to perform 100 Ashwamedha. That is even more laborious task. Anyway, so Mantra Drumna, he became the Indra in the Chakshusha Manvantara. And in the Manvantara avatar in the Chakshusha Manvantara is a Amsha avatar of the Lord whose name was Ajita. It was a very interesting incarnation. Ajita. So Ajita is also a name of the Lord. Rama Devi was Lakshmi Devi. My grandmother's name was Rama Devi. Rama is, of course, we are all fortunate. Most of us have. Kamalesh also, as my civil name, is the name of Lord Hari, the Lord of Kamala, Kamalesh. Kamala means Lakshmi Devi. Kamala. Ajita, which is also a very common name. Our dear Amit Prabhu, his father's name is Ajit. Ajit is also an incarnation of the Lord. So this Ajita incarnation of the Lord was the son of a great personality by the name of Vairaja. And his mother's name was Deva Sambhuti. So Vairaja and Deva Sambhuti gave birth to a Amsha of Bhagavan in the form of Ajita. Amsha, part. They are partial incarnations, not plenary incarnations, partial incarnations. Kala are plenary incarnations, Kalas. And Amsha are partial incarnations, Ajita. And at that time, Shukadev Goswami mentions to Parikshit Maharaj, you know who this Ajit is? This Lord Ajit that I'm talking about, he's the same one who helped the Devatas. Churn the ocean of milk by carrying the Mandara hill. He took the form of a tortoise and had the Mandara hill on top of his back, and the Samudra Manthan Leela happened. Immediately Parikshit Maharaj, pause. Don't go forward. Interesting point. Can you tell me more about this Leela? Oh, Shukadev, why, Shukadev Goswamiji, why and how did Lord Vishnu churn this ocean of milk? For what reason he took the form of the tortoise? And he supported the Mandara hill on his back. And I've heard that by the churning of the ocean of milk, there was this Amrit which was produced. Along with the Amrit, was there anything else produced? I want to know all the details of the story. Please describe all these wonderful activities of the Supreme Lord. Why I want to hear, in case you are wondering, because again and again I am telling you, tell me more. Parikshit Maharaj explained, I am interrupting you because my heart, which is disturbed continuously by the three tapa, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, and Adhyatmik. You are talking about Vaikuntha, right? I am full of Kuntha. Parikshit Maharaj is just, he's a liberated soul, but he's taking the position of a conditioned soul. I am full of Kuntha. Three tapa. What are the three tapa? Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik. Kleshas caused by the body and the mind, kleshas caused by other living entities, kleshas caused by natural forces. My heart is always disturbed by these kleshas. The only medicine for it is to hear Hari Katha, and this Hari Katha will fully satisfy my heart and I'll become peaceful. And it is not yet fully satisfied, so please describe more. Don't give brief statements. Expand, expand. Let the Harikatha flow. Correct? Sometimes our friend will tell us something very interesting and then it will catch our attention. "Hey, kya hua? Kya hua? Batao, batao. Detail. Tell me in detail what happened." So wherever Parikshit Maharaj is hinting, Shukadev Goswami is hinting, Parikshit Maharaj is asking Shukadev Goswami to elaborate. So very happily, Suta Goswami says, very happy to see that inquiry of Parikshit Maharaj. Shukadev Goswami congratulated the king. Who can have a better student than you? Usually students who are attending the classroom, they are only looking at the watch. When the bell will ring, when the period will get over, when I'll go to the canteen, when I will talk with my friends, when I'll go home. Huh? We are, even in the class busy checking WhatsApp, doing this, doing that. But he's totally focused. He's saying, "You're such a very good student." He congratulated him. Arey wow, that's so good. You are listening so attentively. You want to know more about the topic. You are not saying, can you summarize and tell in few points and let us go? Early break. No, you are eager to hear. That's why I am eager to speak. This is how things work. When there is an eager audience, so when you all join, then I also feel enthused to speak. And this is true for any speaker and any audience, right? I mean, the audience is eager to hear the speaker, and this is true for any subject, and all the more for transcendental subjects. So Shukadev Goswami being very, very happy and enthused by this further request for elaboration from Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadev Goswami, he started narrating the pastime of Samudra Manthan. So this is a very, very beautiful pastime of Samudra Manthan, which is just about to begin. We have barely covered the first 1/3 of the chapter. The 2/3 of the chapter, now the Samudra Manthan Leela begins. It doesn't end, it only starts. The Leela will continue over the next few chapters. And like I mentioned in the previous class, the last Saturday, this is a very, very beautiful, very famous pastime. Not just in India, across the world. In fact, in Thailand, the Bangkok, I think Swarna Bhumi airport, there is a beautiful depiction of the Mandar hill on back of Lord Ajita and the demons and the devatas churning the ocean of milk. Very popular everywhere. This is such a famous pastime of the Lord, Samudra Manthan. Probably one of the first pastimes I heard. Perhaps, I don't know. The first detailed story I ever heard was of the Ramayana. When I was 5 years old, the first movie I ever saw in my life was Sampurna Ramayana, which I saw in a theater. Can you imagine? I still remember that movie. How old was I? And that story had such a deep impact on me. The Ramayana. 5 years old. First movie ever. Sampurna Ramayana. Very nice. And not far out in terms of special effects. But the devotional rendition of the various characters. So nice, so touching. So deeply inspired and imprinted in my heart. So anyway, along with Ramayana and Mahabharata, this Samudra Manthan Leela is also very popular amongst the Hindus. Most of them will know. And one of the important characteristics of the Samudra Manthan Leela is that many, many incarnations of the Lord form a part of this pastime. I mentioned this briefly last time. Ajita is not the only Lord who is involved in this pastime. Ajita is involved, who takes the form of Kurma. This is not the Kurma who is supporting the earth. That's a different Kurma. The Kurma Dev moves around. Actually, doesn't move around at that point in time. Now he's steady. Otherwise, the earth will be in trouble. But he can. In the beginning, he's roaming around in the Garbhodok ocean. So, on whose back there is Ananta, on whose hoods the Bhumandal is supported. So, that is a different Kurma Dev. And this is Lord Ajita who specifically for this Leela takes the form of Kurma. The son of these two great personalities we mentioned, Vairaja and Deva Sambhuti. Ajita, he took the form of this tortoise. So many incarnations, Ajita, Dhanvantari, Mohini, Lord Shiva, all these incarnations are involved in this particular pastime. So this pastime narration is about to start. The pastime narration begins with Shukadev Goswami giving the background of the story. The background is that at one time, this whole universe, there are divine forces and demoniac forces, the Devas and the demons. The definition is very simple. Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin sura asura evacha. There are two kinds of living beings within this world. Some are called Sura and some are called Asura. All. Even on earth, there are some Suras and there are some Asuras. Who are Sura? Vishnu, Bhakta, Smrta, Daiva, Asura Tad Viparyaya. Those who are devotees of the Supreme Lord, they are known as Suras. But those who are opposed to the Lord and his devotees, they are known as Asuras. So that's the basic principle. So, in simple words, Suras cooperate with the Lord's plan and they think not only about their selfishness or not about their selfishness but of the welfare of everyone. Whereas the Asuras are very selfish. They are not interested in cooperating with the Lord's plan. They are thinking I, me and mine. Asura. That's the Asura mentality. Asura may be externally doing puja also, they may be doing tapasya also, but they're all doing everything for themselves. Asuras. But the Suras are always thinking how I can work to get in alignment with the Lord's plan. So that Sarve Sukhina Santu, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyat Dukkha Bhagavad. It's not that only I want to be happy. I want everyone to be happy. Because in making everybody happy, the Sura understands I will also become happy because the Supreme Lord will become happy. The Suras are very clear about how the system works. They know that if they cooperate with the Lord's plan, they'll be happy. But the Asuras think if I make my own plan and don't bother about the Lord's plan, then only I'll be happy. So they are always in conflict. Sura, Asura. They're always fighting in the universe. Sometimes the Devatas become powerful when the modes of goodness are prominent, and sometimes when the modes of Rajoguna or Tamoguna become prominent, the Asuras become powerful. So at one time it is said, the Asuras became so powerful. Generally the Suras are more powerful, but the Asuras became so powerful that they severely attacked the Devatas. And many of the Devatas lost their life, it is said. They were so badly beaten, they couldn't even be revived with Amrit. They were so badly beaten. I'm not saying, the Bhagavatam is saying. And they were driven out of their kingdoms. The Devatas became poverty stricken. Can you imagine? Indra, no kingdom, no money, no Apsaras dancing for him. Without kingdom, running around here and there. All the Devatas are driven out. And if the Devatas are powerless, then the persons who are doing yajna for them, what is the point? If the Devata cannot bless them with any power, what is the use of all the yajnas? So the whole universe came into a very serious problem. The Bhagavad says, even ritualistic ceremonies could not be performed because the Devatas had become dysfunctional. This kind of a situation was a very dangerous situation for the universe. So, Indra, Varuna, and the others, they discussed amongst themselves, Are Baba, how to solve the problem now? After a lot of brainstorming, they realized we don't know the solution. So they went to Lord Brahma, their counselor. Huh? They went to at the top of the Mount Sumeru, and there is an assembly of Brahma there. This is Brahma's office. Brahma is living in Brahmaloka, but he has an office at the top of Mount Sumeru. So he comes in his office. I don't know how frequently he comes. I don't know his working hours, but he came. Maybe it's only with appointment. I do not know. But he came, and the Devatas were there. The Devatas cannot directly approach Lord Vishnu. Vishnu is not so accessible. Vishnu is transcendent Lord. They cannot just go and see Vishnu. They cannot WhatsApp. I need appointment, please. That they can probably do with Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma met them at the top of Mount Sumeru, and they fell at the feet of Brahma and told him, Lord Brahma, I know in your one day there are thousands of Indras, but currently my situation is very bad. You must give some attention and help to me. And they described what the whole situation had become. And then Shukadev Goswami mentions what is the background of why these devatas had become weak. The devatas are usually very powerful. The devatas are powerful as long as they are following dharma properly. The devatas become weak as soon as they make a fault in the execution of their dharma. So the story is such that it is said once Indradeva, he was seated on Airavat and he was strolling in his heavenly planets. Indra, being very proud, being very rich, powerful, enjoying so much, sometimes he becomes a bit intoxicated with pride. So once as he was parading somewhere with Airavat, sitting on the back of Airavat, he was a bit, humse badkar kaun? Correct? Sometimes we also, little bit achievement we do, we get some big success, we walk around the street as if, looking at people around us, you know who I am? We don't say it, but in our heart, our attitude is like that. It has happened. Does it happen to you? 56-inch chest. To me, used to happen very often. Nowadays, I have become a bit more conscious after reading Gita and Bhagavatam, but looking around, who is so intelligent as me? Who is so successful as me? Who is so smart as me? So that is the arrogance of the conditioned soul. Becomes puffed up. So Indra was in that mood at that time. The great Durvasa Muni happened to be passing by the same way. And Durvasa Muni being a great sage, and sages usually will give blessings when they see the Devata. Devatas are Kshatriyas, they are rulers. The Brahma Tejas, the Brahmanas will give blessings to the Devatas, especially great sages, the Saptarshis and all these great sages. So Durvasa Muni, when he saw Indra, he took out his garland, his Mahaprasad, the garland which was around the neck of Durvasa, and he passed it to Indra as a blessing. So whenever a sadhu gives his garland, it is the blessing of the sadhu. You have to put it around our neck as prasad, not as to glorify ourselves, but as a prasad of. So we do the same, and we for the Lord's garland or for the Guru's garland, the sadhu's garland, we honor it by smelling it and putting it on our body for some time. So Indra was so puffed up that he took the garland and he passed it to Airavat. Instead of putting it on himself, he passed it to Airavat, his elephant. And elephant being an elephant, what does he know the value of the garland of a sadhu? Elephants, even in the heavenly planets, are also not particularly intelligent. So Airavat just flinging the garland, he just threw the garland on the ground and he trampled the garland. Durvasa Muni said, what is this? This king of heaven doesn't know how to properly honor saintly personalities. Huh? If the king becomes proud and puffed up, then the whole people will also follow his example. They'll also become like that. I need to fix this problem. Durvas Muni is very eager to fix problems wherever he sees anything. So he cursed Indra. May you and all of you lose all of your opulence. So when they were cursed like that, the Devatas, especially Indra, they became weak. And when the news of that curse reached the demons said, Areva, wonderful opportunity. The kavacha of the sadhu kripa, which was protecting the Devatas, has been removed. Just like, there is a defense system, right? Missile shield. Any weapons come, they are intercepted. So dharma, sadhu kripa, deva kripa is protecting the Devatas. It's protecting us, protecting all of us. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Dharma is protecting us. When adharma, then there is a hole in the defense system. Then the demons will attack. Arey wah, bahut acha. The terrorists will attack. They know that now I found the loophole in the system. They will attack. That is what happens. So whenever the demons have been successful, it is usually because the devatas have made some blunder. Otherwise, as long as the devatas are under the full protection of Vishnu and the saintly people, they cannot be subjugated. So that is the background. So because they did like this, the devatas became weak. Because the devatas became weak, the demons attacked. Because the demons attacked, the devatas lost. And it was such a mess that the whole universe went into turmoil. Correct? It was like the whole government of the universe dissolved. No proper government. What to do? Even the Brahmanas who are performing yajnas, Indraya, Swa, there is no Indra sitting there. You are offering oblations to Indra, there is no Indra to take. He is roaming around. Mera ghar kahan hai, what to do, where to go. So big problem, big mess. So they went to Brahma and then they complained to Brahma. And then what happened next when they complained to Brahma? We'll continue in our next class. Because that guidance from Brahma leads to the next steps, which leads to eventually to the Samudra Manthan pastime. Okay, so we have only discussed 20 verses from this chapter. There are 50 verses. So hopefully in our next class we can complete this chapter. There are a lot of nice points. That's why I didn't want to hurry. Normally we will complete the chapter. So I'll open the floor for any questions. Okay, before that, I want to welcome Jana. Jana is my friend. I made a new friend yesterday. So he has joined our class. Thank you so much, Jana, for joining.
Hi, sir. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet all of you.
Thank you so much. He's also a very spiritual person, vegetarian for the last 22 years. I met him through an accident, but he's here today. So this is how the Lord arranges. Never know. Anyway, thank you so much, Jana. Suraj, yeah, you have a question.
Yeah, Prabhu, I have a question, but I am not sure how to put it across. Prabhu, this two-bird theory is there, right? One bird is eating fruit, and another bird is watching, right? So when exactly the connection happens and when we get reciprocation? I mean, initially we learn how to balance that ups and downs in life, but when do we get a signal that we have to be really serious? You got the context, Prabhu?
Yeah, I understood your question. So the Shvetashvatara Upanishad explains this analogy. So for those of you who do not know what Suraj Prabhu is talking about, the scriptures give an example. This is mentioned in a few Upanishads, definitely in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, that on the tree of the body, two birds are sitting on a branch. One bird is jumping from the branch to branch, eating various fruits. Some are sweet, some are bitter. And there is another bird who is near this other bird, who is not interested in eating any of the fruits, but is simply watching the other bird. So this is the comparison that in this body, there is the Atma who is trying to enjoy the fruits of its activities, which are sometimes sweet, sometimes bitter. And the Paramatma, who is not interested in enjoying this world, but is coming as the friend of this other bird and watching him and waiting for the day that the bird who's eating the fruits becomes fed up of trying to enjoy in this world and turns towards this other bird who's waiting when he will turn to me. Right? This is the example. So, what is that turning towards the Paramatma mean? The turning towards the Paramatma begins, the first step of turning towards the Lord begins when the bird starts realizing, I will not get any lasting happiness by jumping from branch to branch trying to eat fruits. This is not giving me any lasting happiness. So the first impetus is mumukshutva. Mumukshutva means a desire for liberation. That one starts inquiring who I am, where I am coming from, who's the ultimate source. That is the beginning of that turning around. It is not yet properly turning around. It is the beginning. It is almost like a pause to the looking of the other side and trying to turn. But the actual turning and coming towards the Lord is when the Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarva actually turning towards the Lord and abandoning the eating of the fruits and taking full shelter. So that is the process where the jiva begins his disinterest towards material life and gradually turns his face. It's a gradual, it takes many lifetimes to turn the face away. For millions of lifetimes, our face is away from the Lord. Do you think it will suddenly change towards the Lord in a moment? Slow turning. Those who turn suddenly, they turn suddenly because they have been doing for many lifetimes. Only in this lifetime, it appears they are suddenly changing. It's just because their previous advancement becomes suddenly activated by the Lord's giving him remembrance. Matta smritar jnanam apohanam cha. Vedasya sarvaya ahmeva vedyo vedanta krit veda videvacha. Not impossible, but very, very rare. So that's how it begins, Prabhu. It begins with the living entity being fed up of material enjoyment and trying to find who am I. That is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. It begins with Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma Jigyasa means what is the ultimate reality. And then it ends in understanding the ultimate reality. It begins with curiosity about Brahma Jigyasa and it ends with understanding Brahman in its highest aspect, which is Bhagavan. That is the journey in turning the face around.
So how that reciprocation happens first?
To the extent the jiva tries to turn, to that extent, the Lord will help. As they say, no, you take one step towards the Lord will take 10 or 100. So the Lord is reciprocating with our desires, but He's always reciprocates 10 times or even more times than what we do. The Lord is not proportionate. So little effort also He will reciprocate. So when we do a little bit, the Lord reciprocates 10x. Then the Lord is expecting, you gave $1, I gave you 10. Now I am hoping you will give me 2. Give in the sense, you will exert yourself a little bit more to come towards me. Then He will reciprocate even more.
Yeah, Prabhu,
So that's how the journey goes.
2 key, right? How we'll understand that he's giving that second, he's expecting 2. I mean, I'm doing my practice.
So in practicality, when we take one step towards the Lord reveals us some spiritual knowledge, gives us some understanding, brings us either in contact with Guru or Scripture. Then the Lord will see, are you taking benefit of what I've given you?
Okay, got it.
Okay. If you take and you just put on your head and keep and just do arti, then okay, you're happy just with that. Then are you really trying to understand? Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Oh, this is the Lord. This is the Supreme Person. Then the Lord will give more. Then with more knowledge, you are expected to do more. When you do more, the Lord gives more. So that journey, continuous reciprocation goes on until one wants nothing else but to serve the Lord. Ananyas chintayanto maam ye jana paribhasa.
Yeah, Prabhu, this phase, when we'll come to
Gradual,
understand?
no? It's a
Okay.
gradual. So that stage will come when we have totally lost interest in eating fruits.
Okay, got it.
And we are taking full bahunam janmanam ante jnanamam mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti. When you come to the conclusion, Vasudeva is sarva, there is nothing else. This whole fruit eating business was a full sham. You come to that conclusion and you take full shelter of the Lord, Ananya. You become Ananya Bhakta, then the Lord says, Acha, he wants nothing else but me, then he will take you back. It's as simple as that. Huh? So our turning is a gradual process, turning towards the Lord.
Yeah, Prabhu, so one question out of curiosity. We are at very neophyte level. At your level, what all things you
Huh?
feel about God?
My
At
level is
least,
not very high level.
but at least some sort of,
Spiritual
yeah.
advancement, Prabhu, spiritual advancement is a continuous increasing process of detachment from matter and attachment to Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay. So, no devotee will tell you, I am very attached to Krishna. No, actually, advanced devotee will tell you. If you ask any devotee, they will say, I am extremely attached to Maya. I have no love for Krishna. And that is what even advanced devotees feel. So the problem for us is that advanced devotees never advertise themselves as advanced devotees. We need help of the Lord to be able to identify those who are advanced and take shelter of their association. So one of the tips which Srila Prabhupada gives, he says, whenever you find a person who's inspiring other persons to progress in selfless devotional service, you must understand that they are advanced. Because nobody can inspire and be a channel to give devotional service to others unless they are specially empowered by the Lord. This is one characteristic. This is what Prabhupada says. I'm just sharing that. And at an external level, one can see how detached a person is from material energy and how attached it is to Krishna. So like I said, no, this is a continuous, first one step, then we go to 2, then 3, 4. So it's a continuous function all the way to perfection. So somebody may be, at 2 out of 100, another may be 3 out of 100, another person may be 4 out of, we may all be at different levels. So we have to not stop, we have to continuously keep progressing. And the more we make advancement, the more we can perceive the reciprocation of the Lord. At a very neophyte level, a devotee is not able to perceive the reciprocation of the Lord. Yeah. He thinks, where is God? I'm doing all this, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Is he really there? All this, nothing is happening. This bad thing happened, that bad. As one makes advancement and as one gets purified, one starts seeing the hand of the Lord. Not hand of the Lord means he doesn't literally see the hand of the Lord, but he can see how the Lord is interacting. As one makes more advancement, the Lord gives more and more intelligence to the living entity to understand how the Lord is actively arranging various things in his life. And as the devotee's relationship with the Lord increases, the Lord will even make personal interactions with the devotee. But the devotee will never go out and tell others in an open Zoom class, oh, the Lord spoke to me.
Yeah, this
The
is
Lord
this is
interacted
exactly I wanted to know, Prabhu. Like that personal when that thing happen. Yeah.
Nobody will tell.
Okay.
And it is not the right thing to tell.
Okay.
One should, Shastra say, one should never reveal one's spiritual experiences in a public way, because otherwise it becomes like boasting.
Okay.
And one loses. If one tells, then the Lord will say, इसके साथ फिर से बात नहीं करूंगा, ये तो सबको बता देता है. and not talk to him again. Otherwise, he'll go and tell everybody. And he's increasing it to increase his false prestige. So one's own experiences one should keep.
So, Prabhu, that reciprocation at this level can still happen in this lifetime,
Yes.
but liberation is altogether different point.
Yes.
Okay.
You can expect the Lord's, I can only say this much, you can expect the Lord's direct reciprocation.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
He may not come directly in four arms like this with you.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, I can't say. I don't expect the Lord to come in Chaturbhuj form, but the Lord can and has given very active reciprocation to various devotees in various ways. But and when that happens, then that relationship with the Lord, that connection with the Lord develops, then one no longer doubts, oh, whether the Lord really cares. Sometimes in very neophyte stages, we think, oh, is the Lord really concerned about me? Is the Lord really caring about me? But let's say one day, in theory, the Lord comes to you and says, Suraj, actually, I'm a bit concerned about you, I want you to do this so that you can make spiritual advancement. After that day, will you ever be doubtful that the Lord is taking care of you? No, right?
No. Yeah, yeah.
So that is, so that level of interaction also the Lord will do even with the sadhakas.
Okay. I got it.
Of course, the Lord is free and independent. So, in what way he will do what with whom, that we cannot, legislate. He's independent and he's free. And also sometimes we don't know who's how advanced.
Yeah.
We don't know. It is not necessary that only sannyasis and gurus are advanced. A simple cook in the kitchen may be more advanced than some sannyasis also. We don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the real problem. The real problem is we don't know who is who. If you even know who is who are you're talking to and who are connected, you will be shocked beyond measure. You have no idea who is who. And sometimes Krishna just give a little bit hint.
Yeah.
Krishna will reveal and say, you are like, oh, I thought he's just an ordinary person. So, Prabhu, what to speak of? We are talking about all the Bhagavatam and Ramayana and all that. There are so many people from higher planets who are right now amongst you and whom you know. You not even know that they have come either from the spiritual world or from the higher planets. Who have just come to participate in the Lord's Sankirtan Leela. We have no idea. No, or we have no idea. So that is why, that's why it's difficult. But as our relationship with the Lord, the Lord will allow us to see more and more and more.
Yeah.
These
So
things.
one small query, Prabhu.
Mm.
In the animal side, Sura Asura means that whoever is hunting their Asuras.
Whoever is?
Hunting in animal kingdom, Sura Asura category.
Those who are hunting.
No. The animals which hunt others. Like a lion is hunting
No,
deer.
this Sura Asura is for human and above species only.
Okay.
The animals are not classified into Sura because there are no discrimination.
Okay, got it.
The Sad Asad Viveka Buddhi possibility is there only in human and higher species and higher planets and amongst the human-like species which are even in the lower planets. Atal, Sutal, Vital, they also have. But they also have human-like forms. They are also very advanced civilizations, but they use their God-given intelligence for their own selfish purpose. That is why they are Asura. They are also very powerful. They are very technologically advanced species.
Yeah, got it. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So, excuse me. Yeah. Any other comment, question?
It's addition to Hare Krishna Prabhuji on the prompt.
Yeah, Tarun. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, what Suraj Prabhu was, sometimes means when I was reading and listening Chaitanya Charitamrita, just like Mahaprabhu delivers Amoga by the simple touch, and he started doing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting. If something is possible in our lifespan, so that we can also be touched by those.
By a pure devotee. And yeah, see, the thing is, Prabhupada says a very interesting thing. Just because somebody gets an honorary doctorate, honorary doctorate means he didn't do all the study of PhD, but some university gave him an honorary degree.
Did it kind of.
Without going through the rigor of the study and the thesis and the viva and all that, he got an honorary degree, doctorate, because of some achievement. Obviously, not whimsically, yeah, because they have done some great work in that field. They have got that honorary doctorate. Doesn't mean that we don't go to college and wait that somebody will one day come and give us an honorary doctorate. Correct? So that is the exception. It is not the norm. Can we expect that? Yes, we can always expect and hope someday something will happen and, I will get much more than what I am, deserving. Anyway, whatever we are getting is also more than what we are deserving, but way more. Huh? Like a super bumper lottery, right? Like a beggar becoming a millionaire overnight. Is that possibility there? Yes. But that possibility comes by some very special causeless mercy. We cannot control that. If it happens to us and if we expect that, that is okay. But we cannot wait for that and say, Arey, I will not do anything. I will wait for the day when, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will pass this way and he will put his hand on my heart. I am waiting for that day. No, then that day will not come. So Prabhupada says we have to do our part of going to school and at the same time hope that some mercy will come. So both aspects we have to parallelly have that attitude. Always expecting the Lord's mercy, at the same time not letting down on our endeavor to purify ourselves. Because what actually attracts the mercy is our endeavor. Very rare cases, because of an exceptional connection or circumstance to a very great devotee, somebody may get very extraordinary mercy without any special effort on their part. But if we go to the story behind the story, we will eventually realize that anyway, nobody gets anything free. They were something, they made a mistake, they came into that mess and somehow they were delivered, and then it appeared in that particular life that they got a special blessing. But they had done this, Usually, not that the Lord cannot give, He can give, but usually there is a story behind every story. So our attitude should be that, oh Lord, I am trying very hard, but I know no matter how hard I try, my trial is not good enough. My effort is not good enough. So I am dependent on your mercy to deliver me. That is the right attitude. You understand? I am repeating. I am trying my best, but my best is far less than the standard needed to deliver myself. So while I continue with utsahat, nischayat, dhairyat, tat karma paravartanat, sangatyagat, sato vritte, Shadbir Bhakti Prasiddhati, with enthusiasm and confidence, with diligence, taking the association of devotees and keeping away from all nonsense, I will continue my effort of trying to get closer to you. Still, I know I am so small, I am so conditioned, I am so insignificant. I cannot cross the ocean of material existence. Oh Lord, please save me. So when that attitude the jiva develops, Tesham aham samuddarta mrityu samsara vartmani bhavami na chirat prapta maya veshita chetasa. To them I become a swift deliverer. You take one step, Krishna will take 10. So Krishna is expecting us to exert ourselves and depend on Him. Not we lie down and depend on Him. Krishna, please come. I'm here. Krishna will say, you remain there only. You are not eager to come. You understand the point? This is very important. So it is not a problem to expect the Lord's mercy. We must expect the Lord's mercy without thinking we are qualified. Because mercy means not qualified. Otherwise it is, yellow, mallo. take this cash and deliver me the goods. That's not what we are doing. We cannot pay and buy Krishna Prem. We have broken paise of devotion. How to buy the jewel, Chintamani of Krishna Prem with that. So if we approach the Lord with that attitude, if we approach the sadhus with that attitude, then they will extend themselves to give special mercy. The mercy flows when we have that attitude. So that is how we should always approach it. So even going back to the previous question which Suraj was asking, even when the Lord in an extreme situation extends himself to directly reciprocate with his devotee, devotee never thinks that he is qualified. God came and spoke to me. Who am I? I am nothing. Who am I? I am nothing. He doesn't think, Arey, मालूम है क्या मैं कौन हूँ? He doesn't think like this. I am actually nothing, but the Lord is so kind. Even though I am so much full of faults, even though I am nothing, even though my heart is still full of lust, even though I am struggling in my own endeavors to practice spiritual life, the Lord has gone out of his affectionate nature and his nature of overlooking the faults of his devotees. He extended himself to me. That is the attitude the devotee has. You understand? See, this attitude is very important. Without the right attitude, we will not attract the Lord's attention and mercy. That's why these points are very important. You understand, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. And that's why the devotee, even if the Lord extends himself to him, will never go and advertise. Because he never thinks himself qualified to receive that special favor of the Lord. He will think, अरे यार क्या कैसे तो लॉटरी लग गया, भगवान ने दर्शन दिया या भगवान ने जो कुछ भी किया, the Lord is somehow kind, but I'm actually so ordinary. That is what will that humility is what keeps that relationship with the Lord active. The moment we become proud, the moment Radharani thought, oh, only with me Krishna is there, or he left all the gopis and he only took me, instantly Krishna kept Radharani down and disappeared. If he can do that to Radharani, what is our position? Very, very important. Cannot. So those who are advanced and have an active relationship with the Lord never flaunt it. They never speak about it. Maybe sometimes tell it in private to some individual just to encourage and inspire them, but they will not share it publicly. And that is why to understand who's actually a great soul is very difficult. Of course, sometimes those who are not great souls also will go and blabber something, which just to create a aura around themselves, even though they don't have any substantial spiritual attainment. That's a different problem. So that's why we need the help of the Lord to understand who's advanced. Sometimes the Lord, if we are sincere, will inspire us in the heart to understand. This person is very attached to me. This person is actually has deep attachment to me. Take his association. By that association, his attachment to me will rub off on you. Then you will develop also an attachment towards me. You understand? Like that. Okay? Yeah, so we can end here. So I'll see you all on next Saturday and we'll continue this class. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam. Hari Bol, Suraj Prabhu and family, all of them. Hari Bol, Jai Ho. You are on mute, Prabhu. I can't see you. Hari, Jai Ho, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Jai Ho.
Thank
The
you.
great family. This is a great family of great devotees. So I don't know who they are. Maybe great devatas from the.
Hare
No,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Thank you.
Krishna
No,
Prabhu
they
ji,
have been
Dante.
attending with me, so they always tell pranams to you, right? So that's
They
why
are very
I.
kind. They are all elder to me. I am just seeking their blessings.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Actually, I'm genuinely and honestly very grateful because all of you are coming to listen, and I don't think I am, giving anything extraordinary.
Yeah.
but you are still coming and listening. So thank you so much. I am really happy. I want to speak, you want to listen, so it's a good combo. So thank you. There are so many people to listen from, but you still come and listen to me. So, and in that way, you give me an opportunity to serve and to glorify the Lord. So, thank you so much. And I sincerely mean it. I am not simply saying. Thank you, Puja Mataji, Tarunji, Hare Krishna, Sridhar Prabhu, Sarvalakshmi Mataji, Sridevi Mataji,
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Haribol, Snehaji, Amit, Priya, Indulekha Mataji. Oh, thank you. Thanks to all of you. So please keep coming and enthusing me, and also please extend this opportunity to others who may be benefited. So I'm just mentioning to you, I mean, he's not here. This person, Jana, that I was introducing earlier, I had an accident. He hit my car yesterday. So I came across, and anyway, so to cut a long story short, today I was speaking something to him. I just told him I speak on the scriptures. So he was curious. He is also a little spiritually inclined. So I immediately took the opportunity to tell him, are you interested? If you want, you can. And he came. So I don't know whether he'll come again or not. But the point is, we do not know how the Lord will connect somebody. Because even hearing once, if the message is coming in parampara, not because I am great, but because it's coming in parampara, and if the message is unadulterated, even once hearing it, will begin undoubtedly the journey of the jiva is going away from the Lord to stop that process and start turning towards the Lord. It begins as soon as one gets the association of those who are connected with parampara and give the pure message. That is the point of the beginning. So it is our sacred seva to help others turn their face towards the Lord. The Lord is waiting. The Lord wants us on His behalf to go and nudge others on their shoulder and tell, "Che dekho jara, there, behind who's there." You have become vimukha from the Lord. You have turned your face away from the Lord. So you have anadi bahirmukha jiva. Since time immemorial, the jiva is bahirmukha, looking outwards. So turn and look inwards to the Lord who is residing within the heart. So anyway, I am just praying. Ultimately, Krishna only can give his mercy to others. We can only try. So let's see whether his good fortune arises or not. Of course, it will definitely arise, whether it arises immediately or not. But any contact with the Bhagavatam, Bhakta and the holy name is never in vain. So that is always true. Okay. So thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Hare
I'll
Krishna,
talk to you.
Prabhu.
I'll see you on next Saturday.
Krishna
We'll
Prabhuji.
continue. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna.